This Saturday, I want to see bombs.
In the world full of podcasts, he's the undisputed heavyweight champion of hot takes, an Auburn sports homer, master of the boog, and message board legend. Get your buttons buttoned and your hats flattened because the Top Button Podcast is about to kick off, and you don't want to miss your courtside seat. Now, here's your host, Charlie 5.
Yes, sir. We're back. It's another episode of the Top Button Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Rush, a.k.a. Charlie 5, and we are ready to get after it. As good as this offense has been through the first 2 weeks, there's one small thing. I wouldn't even call it small. There's one thing missing. We're going to talk about what that is and how you fix it. Auburn decides to go all stormtroopers at home. Pretty smart move in the middle of the day in September. And talking about this recruiting momentum that Auburn's picking up. A lot of predictions. Could some stuff happen today? We'll jump into that all in just a second. But before we do that, let's give a quick shout out to Rhoback.com. Use coupon code BARN20 to take 20% off your order. Polos, hoodies, pullovers, doesn't matter. They got it all. So show them some love. Save big. It's Rhoback.com. I love what I've seen out of the offense the first 2 weeks. The ability to be patient, the ability to take what the defense is giving you, the ability to be efficient, the ability to protect the ball. Love all those things. Those things are what make offenses great. Protecting the ball, being a fit, all those things I just mentioned, that's what makes offenses great. There's one thing that's missing, in my opinion. And I know a lot of it's predicated on what we've been given as far as what defenses are giving us, okay? And that is explosive plays in the pass game. I'm talking bombs. High, nasty bombs. Haven't really seen that yet. So far, through the first 2 games, Auburn has one pass play that's one explosive play, I believe, that's gotten to 30 yards. And that was Eric Singleton's touchdown catch, which against Ball State, which was exactly 30 yards. Just to give you some context, last year against Alabama A&M, who not a ton different than Ball State. You had touchdown receptions, or you had receptions of 57 yards, 70 yards, 67 yards, 44, 41, 37. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plays through the air longer than what we've had through 2 games thus far. Even in the Cal loss last year, you had a 41-yard play early to Cam Coleman. Haven't really seen that yet, okay? And I know that may seem like a luxury. Oh, Kyle, you're just wanting to add insult to injury when you're beating up on some of these teams. No, that's not necessarily the case. We've had some explosive plays in the running game, and maybe that'll continue. Maybe you'll continue to be able to rip off big plays in the running game. You had, a 27-yard run against Baylor. You had a couple of long runs, a 46 and a 54 against Ball State. But let's be honest, those are sometimes long rushes like that are few and far between. You really rack up those numbers, those big explosive play numbers through the air. Here's why that's something that I think Auburn's got to figure out. The average college offense is not really built to go 10 to 12 plays for scoring drives. And when you go up against some of these tougher SEC opponents, if the answer to keep you from being explosive is just simply having 2 safeties high, it's going to make things a lot tougher to remain so efficient because all it takes is one play. All it takes is one illegal formation, one holding call. Holding calls are crucial. Auburn's had a few the first couple of games. One sack, one tackle for loss out of those 10 to 12 plays, and you're now behind schedule. 2 of Auburn's touchdown drives against Baylor were 12 plays. You had another touchdown drive that was 9 plays. Like, that's awesome. Any scoring drive, it's hard to complain. All I'm saying is, if you can't figure out how to get big chunks of yardage through the air, big shot plays, so to speak. I was joking a lot. On the live, take a shot, take a shot, take a shot. That's kind of my thing. Like, if you get an opportunity, take a shot. And it's because I'm having fun and I want to see these wide receivers get involved down the field. But also, I just know if teams can make you drive, the odds of you making a mistake are pretty high. The NFL all of a sudden has, in all the years of the NFL, they've decided, hey, if you just put 2 high safeties that they can't go deep, and now you have to drive the field. Now, NFL offenses, a lot of times they're professionals, so they're a little bit more efficient. So maybe it's a little bit easier. So you can't just lean on that the whole time. College offenses are just different. I think I read where it's like you average an offensive penalty every 11 to 12 plays or something like that. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you get in those long drives, those things can happen. And especially, where are you whenever you get to those, those 11 and 12th plays? You're typically in the red zone where you can't really afford mistakes. So that's something, and this is a lot easier said than done. Like, I don't know exactly what the answer is. I don't know exactly how you get a defensive look when they are basically daring you. They're basically daring you to throw it underneath. You're not going deep. So we just keep it in front of us, basically. Or I say dare. I guess they're daring you to go deep. Please go deep, because we're sitting back here waiting on. You got 2 safeties back, and then maybe a corner drops back as well, and now you got cover 3 deep, and there's really nowhere to go deep. Somehow, I know that there's an answer for that. Schematically, there's got to be an answer to eventually get those guys to creep up. I don't know what that is. But I think somehow, some way, they've got to figure that piece of it out. I don't think you can just rely on the run game being your explosives. Maybe. I could be wrong there. But I don't think you can rely on your run game to be your explosives when you get into this meat of the schedule that starts next week. I mean, you got 3 games that, honestly, I'm hoping you get 1 out of those 3. If you get 2 out of those 3, it's freaking phenomenal. 2 tough road games, and obviously you got Georgia after a bye. That's something I think Auburn's got to figure out, and maybe you see it this weekend. Of all the things that we complained about on the offense last year, deep balls, throwing it vertical was not one of them. One of the best teams in the country at pushing the ball down the field through the air. Did it a lot against Oklahoma, especially in the first half. Beat them vertical a bunch. We haven't seen this team be able to do that yet. So I'm hoping that in the quote-unquote dress rehearsal, which I would think it needs to be, dress rehearsal for Oklahoma, yes, you're running your RPO. Yes, you're hitting those quick hitters. Yes, we're running the ball. Yes, Jackson's probably going to have a few carries. But some of those RPOs or some of those plays you run, hopefully there's some opportunities created where you can draw those safeties' eyes away, or you can freeze them enough to get somebody free on the outside. Get it better each game. And that's one thing I think that's the last piece of this offense, that if you can unlock that, it's truly unstoppable. It truly can be unstoppable. How about that? Let me know what you think. I know no turnovers is a big thing. So maybe going vertical increases your odds of, turning the ball over. And we're trying to work ourselves away from that and work on confidence and easy throws and kind of build ourselves up to that. But I think eventually that's got to be a part of the offense. They got to figure that part out. I have faith that they could do it because I know they got the horses to do it. Definitely got the wide receivers to do it. And I think they got a quarterback that can do it too. So we'll see what happens this weekend. I want to see bombs. High, nasty, long bombs. Let's go. I want to talk about the wideout and some recruiting in just a second. We'll be back right after this. Pretty dope. Auburn's going all white on Saturday. White pants, white jersey, white helmet. In the picture, they had the white face mask too, which I hope we just adopt forever when we go all white. I hope the white face mask is just always going to be a part of the road uniforms. And I put road in quotation marks because maybe now we can start wearing them at home a little bit more, especially in September. Usually, we've been going through this fake fall for a while. We've been going through this fake fall for about 3 weeks now, and maybe it's just the real deal. Maybe it just becomes the real deal, but it's going to be September 13th on Saturday, and your high is going to be 84 degrees. Usually it's 117 in September, and it's unbearable. The hottest I've ever been in my whole entire life, I believe, was the home opener against Arkansas in 14? I mean, there's people passing out in the stands. There's people like they got medical personnel all over the place carrying folks out of the stadium. It's usually as hot as one of the gates of hell in September, and especially at 11:45 or 12 o'clock. So I'm sure this was a strategy thing on that part. Hey, let's make a whiteout when it's usually hotter than the surface of the sun in Auburn, Alabama. Let's go whiteout. That'll protect the players. I say protect. That'll help the players instead of having those dark navy blue uniforms that I'm sure become scalding hot after 1 hour in the sun. Go all white, top to bottom, and then the fans in the stand go all white. I know people are like, why would you waste that on South Alabama? Well, here's the cool thing. You could do it again if you wanted to. It's not like it has to be a one and done. But I think doing it at this point in time is really smart. Boy, I'm enjoying fake fall, though. I hope it's real. Like, I feel like at some point in time, though, the script's going to flip and it's going to be like 95, 96 degrees next week. Like, it could happen. It feels like the hammer could be dropped at any point in time. Septembers are always usually incredibly miserable as far as heat goes. But it's been delightful, basically, this whole September. So maybe it was a plan that's not necessarily needed, but it's going to end up being pretty cool. I think Auburn wore white at home in 2007 and 2008. I remember being at the 2007 game. I was actually at Auburn at that point in time, and we're playing Vanderbilt. Throwback jerseys, I think, honoring the 1957 team. Not throwback jerseys, throwback helmets. They didn't have decals on them, so it's not something that's very frequent. I know LSU pretty much loves to wear white tops at home because we always end up wearing navy when we go there. But it's kind of a cool change. I like seeing cool changes in uniforms every so often. Just something different. And our all-white uniforms may be the best in college football. They're sick. They look so good. White top, white face mask, white helmet, white pants. Absolutely love it. So good decision there. That'll be fun. That'll be fun to see. Recruiting momentum. This is not, I don't think this is going to be as big of a recruiting weekend, obviously, as last weekend was. I don't think you have any official visitors scheduled. And it would be kind of a bummer if this was your official visit. I mean, let's just be honest. A 12 o'clock game, it's just kind of lame. You want them to come. You want to come at night. You want to be under the lights, get the full atmosphere of that light show. So not shocking. I'm sure there'll be a lot of unofficial visitors. And as those trickle in, we'll definitely talk about them. But man, oh man, the predictions continue to roll in for both of the Wells brothers, Corey and Chris. And you got a big, we talked, maybe we talked about this. I can't even remember now. Donovan Moore, who is the number one player in the state of Alabama for 2027, big defensive lineman. You're getting predictions for him as well. Hayes Fawcett doesn't typically do this, and it be something that lasts very long. Okay. And what do I mean by that? Hayes Fawcett put out basically an Auburn bat signal tweet. Hayes Fawcett, he does all the graphics for the commits for On3/Rivals. So when it's anybody of consequence, anybody of note that wants to announce their commitment and get a graphic done, Hayes typically does it. Well, I think on Tuesday, Hayes put out his bat signal tweet for Auburn, which typically means Auburn's about to get a commit. And usually that doesn't mean, hey, it's happening 3 weeks from now. Usually it's within a few days. Could be Donovan Moore, could be Corey Wells, and Chris, again, feels a lot like this could be the Wells brothers. And it wouldn't shock me if it happened today. I've actually had some people mention that maybe something could go down today in regards to their recruitment. We talked about it on the barnauburn.com. We'll see. I don't know anything specific as far as timeline, as far as what time it could happen, but I've been told to, maybe watch Thursday. Something could go down. Well, guess what? It's Thursday. That'd be fun. It'd be fun to go ahead and get your top, one way or the other, you're getting a top defensive line target on your board committed. Obviously, Donovan's going to be the top player on everybody's board for 2027. It would be awesome if you could get your top defensive line target from the beginning, the top guy that you wanted from the beginning. It'd be awesome if you could get him locked in to this 2026 class. We're kind of getting in that neighborhood of the next commits that you get are, I don't want to say 100% locked in, because I'm sure the way the season plays out matters and whatnot. But for the most part, you're getting flips. And, I know we can point to here or there, got kids that flip multiple times, but a lot of that's early. When you get to this point in time, a lot of those flips are you're pretty locked in. So it'd be great to go ahead and get him locked in. And then Chris as well, if it's a package deal, I think Chris Wells is a really good player, a really good value that you'd be getting at edge. He's having a really good year. He's got really fun film to watch, really versatile. Looks way bigger to me than 6'3", 215. So we'll see how that plays out. But Auburn's kind of got the ball rolling right now. And I mentioned it earlier in the show, but if obviously if you win Saturday and you can win one or two of the next, let me just go back. If you can split the 2 road games, that Georgia game is going to be electric. It's going to be phenomenal. Got to figure out a way to win one of those 2. Would love to win both. I think you're good enough to win both. But they're also good enough. They're good enough to win both. So you could lose both as well. You got the talent to win both. Let's just go with that. So we'll see what happens. Let's see if we pick up a commitment today. That'd be a lot of fun going into the weekend. Let me know what you think about deep plays through the air. What do we got to do? What do we need to do to figure that out? I think that's one last chess piece we're missing from checkmate as far as this offense is concerned. Guys, thanks for listening. We'll be back again soon. It's another episode of the Top Button Podcast. Stay button.
Thanks for listening and drive home safely.